The 60 tonight.
Right back to it, ladies and gentlemen. No time to waste. It's not the same as it ever was when you got a guy named Brian Kula, K-U-L-A, coming up with the Duel of the Decades for you. We got a tie game, 3-3.
Well done, Brian.
Sauce's A-plus songs versus Sauce's top 10 songs of all time. And there's 2 to go. And we find ourselves with this song, which you said, Sauce, was A-plus on May 3rd of this very year.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah! Son of a bitch. Oh, man, I love this song. I almost peed.
It's A+.
It sounds like you almost did something else. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
I mean, he's right. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
it's got to be top 10-ish all time, right, Sauce?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
I mean, this is a top 10 Petty song.
That's right.
She grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on the Indiana night.
Yeah. Mary Jane's Last Dance, Tom Petty. But
A+.
on September 14th, which must have been a great day for the Duel of the Decades, you said this was iconic, including one of the best songs of all time.
Yeah.
It was more than
Yes, I stand by that.
Girls Just Want to Have Fun
Love it.
versus Mary Jane, who sounds like she's probably a girl who probably wanted to have fun, but she was having her last dance. Sauce, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Mary Jane's Last Dance. What do you got?
This is this. I love this song.
Are you kidding me?
No, I love this song.
I would have bet a lot of money you would go with Tom Petty.
This.
A lot of money. Zach, oh!
Yeah, Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Wow, okay. You okay over there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I too am going with Girls Just Want to Have Fun. What do you got there, Brett?
I don't know. I'll be different and go Petty, but it's close.
You are different. Perry?
There's that.
I already was selfish when it came to my kids and me, so
Yeah.
I might as well be selfish when it comes to my wife and me, and I'm going to go Tom Petty over Cyndi Lauper.
A car?
Comes down to court.
Can I yet again vote with the button bar?
Sure, of course, please.
Right, and I'm Cyndi Lauper.
I knew it. So it is now 4-3. It all comes down to this. The top 10 songs of all time, leading the A-plus song of all time as we go into the final round. This is a toughie. We go back to April 13th of 2022.
Man.
You said this, Sauce, whatever your name is, was, and make note, Corey, a top 2 song.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right,
Of all
so,
time.
so fourth is November Rain.
Yep.
Sympathy for the Devil's in the top 3.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
This is either number 1 or
God,
number
that's
2
right.
of
This
all
is good.
time.
Narrowing it
so
down.
good.
Are you ready to?
Yeah.
I don't want
Hold
you
on,
to cuss.
that's-
Are you sure you're okay?
I will cuss.
Hold on to that filthy tongue of yours.
All right.
All right?
Yeah. Lord. Yeah, this song
You
wails.
are a piece of bacon wrapped in mystery.
I love this song. Yeah.
Like a Prayer by Madonna.
This song's great.
Top 2 song
awesome.
of all time.
Yeah, right, Corn?
Love this song. It's such a badass 80s vibe.
Yeah. Isn't it about that one thing?
That one thing. Yeah, it's about that one. You're right. It's about that one
I
thing.
would guess
guy
it's
with the
probably
stuff?
about that one thing. So Like a Prayer by Madonna. But this was an A-plus song on July 20th of this very year. Wait a minute. Of last calendar year. It's not July 20th yet. Last year you said this was an A-plus song.
Hang on to your hats. Oh, yeah.
Apple
Yes.
Sitta.
Yes. This song is A+.
It is A+, but is it better than one of the top 2 songs of all time? Madonna and Take You There. What do you got, Saucy?
By the way, if it is, if you vote for Flagpole Sitta, then Flagpole Sitta is the greatest song of all time.
Yes.
And
That's what I'm
Madonna's
saying.
number 2,
It
and
all
Sympathy
comes down
for
to-
the Devil's number 3, and November Rain's number 4.
Oh, man.
Wow. I can't forget the curves of your body. And when I feel a bit naughty.
I love this song,
But is it the greatest song of all time?
no.
No one ever does.
It's like a prayer, though, for me. But this song wails.
Saucy. Wait, I'm sorry. So you just said
Like
that.
a Prayer.
Corey.
Madonna.
Harry?
I love Flagpole Sitta, but yeah, Madonna sounds better.
Stupid people are breeding.
Love both songs.
Yeah.
What about you,
Both
Brett?
A+.
I love Flagpole Sitta, and I'm going to go with it.
Me too. I love Flagpole Sitta. Zach,
Yeah, Flagpole Sitta.
Wow, so we
there
go to
it
the
is.
phones because we're tied, and this is for the championship. Because it's 3-3. If A+ gets this, we end this in a tie. If Top 10 gets it, they win. 1-800-320-5336.
Sauce, how are you going to feel if one of the listeners votes down a top 2 song of all time?
I mean, I would be devastated, but that's their opinion, man.
Devastated.
Yeah, I'd be devastated.
Wow. 1-800-320-5336. The phone's ringing. I'm going for this right here. Put them on hold. Corey, punch them up.
All right.
It's your choice.
Good morning. What's your name?
Hey, Settlement Steve from St. Paul.
Oh, hell yeah. Steve Steverson.
What do you want to do?
No, you got to go horny. It's got to be Madonna.
Okay.
Madonna gets the point. Top 10 songs of all time beat the A+ songs on the strength of one of the top 2 songs of all time. Would you say maybe that this is the greatest song of all time? You said top 2. Would you give it number 1?
It's close. I love this song, but the best
It's close.
A+
then
top
it's number 2.
Madonna song of all time is La Isla Bonita.
So you're saying that's the greatest song of all time?
That is, yeah, it's
That
up there,
is.
yeah.
It can't be up there.
This
It
is
just
the
says
top
it's
2.
better.
Yeah,
And
come
La
on.
Isla Bonita is better.
Will you
then
play
that's
that?
the best song of all time.
I need you to break this down for me. I'm confused now. Is La Isla Bonita the greatest song of all time?
I mean, if I was on a La Isla Bonita, I would want to listen to that song.
You got to answer the
That's not answering
question.
the question.
Do not vacillate, sir.
Hang on, just let me ask it a different way.
Yes.
Is La Isla
Turn
Bonita
this up.
is La
I
Isla
can't hear
Bonita
it.
better than Like a Prayer?
Yeah.
Then this is the
The
greatest
number
song
one
of all
song,
time.
yeah.
This is where she says, "Last night I dreamt of some bagels."
Is this
Listen.
the greatest song of all time?
Yeah.
Please
Okay,
take this
there.
seriously. You
Listen.
don't understand. This matters to us.
Last night I dreamt of some bagel.
Brilliant. God dang it, I love this song.
Well, you should. Apparently, it's the greatest song of all time.
I mean, you want to talk about influential, though? You can't hear this and not think Lady Gaga and how much
Yeah.
of an impact Madonna had on Lady Gaga.
I can't hear
if
this
you
without
said-
wanting to pour Drano in my ears.
Oh, you don't like La Isla Bonita?
You don't like the greatest song of all time?
Apparently, I am not big on the greatest song of all time. No.
Oh,
Don't
maybe you
like
don't dream of
bagels.
bagels enough.
Oh. Well, it would be this list was A+. It would be an A++ if I could hear it.
Sauce, what's better, this or Alejandro by Lady Gaga?
Oh, this.
Is it close?
It's close.
Is Alejandro a top 4 song of all time?
Yeah, you could bet that, yeah.
What song is it bumping out?
What just went to 5?
See you later, November Rain.
My IQ.
Okay. The news is next. What's his name, Brian?
That's right.
That was fantastic.
Brilliant.
Well done, Brian. He's
Awesome.
listening right
Thank
now.
you so
Brian
much,
Cooler, well
Brian. That
done,
was
my
awesome.
man.
KFAN, The Fan.
Find the Mall of America street team at any of our station events all summer long and ask us about the MOA mystery cards when you see us. Just go to KFAN.com, keyword events to find out where we'll be this week.
Saucy,
Yeah,
two
Daddy.
things before we get to the news and the sports and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Number one, this was not just a number 1 song. This was an international number 1 hit.
See, I know my
Madonna.
music.
Yes, see, you do.
Yeah.
Number 2, did Brian do a good job?
Yeah, I thought Brian did an A+ job.
Did he do a good enough job to become unblocked on Twitter?
Oh, sure.
I can't wait to find out what Brian said to have you block it.
I love that. Did he go
what's-
through all of this just to get unblocked from you?
Not know.
What's his
fair
name on
play to
Twitter?
him.
I don't know.
You don't want to know what
Margo.
he said first?
He says, I'm hoping my work and my apologies are enough for you and Saucy to unblock me on Twitter.
Oh, you
blocked
did
him
too.
too.
You did too.
I must have as well.
Oh, well then.
Oh,
I don't even know what I did, to be honest. I've
How do you
been
spell
blocked
his
for a
last
long
name?
time. I believe I've served my punishment and I've changed.
All right.
Aw.
So there you go, Brian.
Yeah, I'll unblock him, sure.
God, I hope he said something just horrific and you're letting him back in.
Then I won't.
All right. It's a great bit.
Yeah, it was.
It really, really was. But it's not going to overtake the news. We've got to do the news because it's sponsored by our beloved friends down in St. Paul at the St. Paul Saints.
This is KFAN News with Chris Hockey, presented by the St. Paul Saints.
St. Paul Saints.
Thanks, St. Paul Saints. And by the way, quickly, before you get to some Saints updates in the news, quick note to all the people that have been blocked by Sauce over the years. You're not missing much. And the reson why I can say that is you're missing Nicolas Cage gifts.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while.
You're missing Dwight Schrute gifts.
Done that in a while.
The exhausted Robert Downey Jr. gifts. And everything that you tweet that's even remotely noteworthy, I reread to you on the air and you say that you stand by it. So people get to hear it anyway, the ones that are worth reading.
Well,
you know
if
what I'm
put
saying?
it that way.
They're not missing much, so it's not like you're...
That's your opinion, man.
That is my opinion. I want people to feel better about being blocked by you. That
it's
really,
just nonsense.
You're hearing the good stuff anyway.
Yeah, I'm not tweeting stuff that anybody cares about.
No, you're not learning much.
No. Half of it's not even spelled correctly.
No. And we've all seen those gifts.
Yeah.
We know what's coming.
Yeah, Let's spread it.
Thanks, St. Paul Saints.
Yeah, thanks, St. Paul Saints. They rattled off 13 hits during a 10-4 win over the Iowa Cubs at CHS Field for the big win. 33-23 is their record. They play again today at CHS Field. Head on down to a Saints game. Thank you, Saints. I'll get you just a couple of stories because we got to get right to sports. There's other things happening in the world, besides the news. But we'll start here. The UN says over 40,000 people are at risk of flooding after a dam collapsed in southern Ukraine. Did you see the footage of this?
I just saw the still shot on CNN.
You got to watch the footage of the water.
Haven't seen the
It's
video
unbelievable. Ukraine and Russia are blaming each other for the breach. Ukraine says Russia committed a war crime in blowing up the dam on Tuesday. Russia claims Ukraine did it to create a distraction. Wow, man. Oof. And there's a new push in Congress to keep AM radio in newer vehicle models. A House subcommittee held a hearing today on a bipartisan bill that would require car makers to keep AM radio in their vehicles, as some manufacturers have started to phase it out in new electric vehicles. Car companies have argued that the electric batteries interfere with AM radio transmissions. I can see that being the case, but it is important to our affiliates out there that carry the fan all over the upper Midwest that you keep AM in there. So we'll find out if that continues. Millions of people across the eastern United States are now dealing with poor air quality, just like we are here from the wildfires in Canada.
Thanks, Canada.
Yeah, it's drifting over to that part of the country. Hopefully that means it's leaving our part of the country because I can barely see.
Oh, poor hogs.
Thanks. And finally, strangely enough, Corey, against all odds,
Great point.
Wisconsin sets a record for tourism in 2022.
What now?
It was a record-breaking year in Wisconsin. Governor Tony Evers yesterday announced new numbers that show 11 million people visited the state and left behind an economic impact of nearly $24 billion.
Wow.
The governor says Wisconsin saw 8 million more visitors last year. Each of the state's 72 counties saw more tourism dollars, even if they didn't all see more tourists. He said the biggest tourist destination, Toma.
Well, that's kind of where I was going with this. This is why I'm calling BS. Because look, the only reason to go to Wisconsin is the Dells. And everyone knows that it doesn't matter where you go in the Midwest. It's a geographical oddity. You have to stop in Toma. If that many people truly were going through Wisconsin, then every home in Toma would look like the Taj Mahal. Mm-hmm. And none of them do.
But they
I don't think that many people went to
they
Wisconsin.
have sweet ATVs, though.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And you could drive them on the highway.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah.
If you're sober, you're better than any driver that's on the road anyway.
Yeah, correct.
In a lot of counties in Wisconsin, if you call 911 and not an ambulance, an ATV picks you up.
Oh.
That's right.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they have 911 in Wisconsin yet or not?
I think
sure
it's
do.
912.
Why is that?
Yeah, why would that be?
Because it's one off. They haven't gotten the... I actually don't know. It's not about me anymore, so stop listening.
No, let's continue this fascinating improv. Why would it be 912?
It's a Simpsons bit where Homer joins the Stonecutters, and they tell him, don't worry about dialing 911 anymore. Dial 912.
Wow, that didn't help explain it at all.
You did say they hadn't gotten there yet.
You
Yeah,
said
they hadn't
had-
gotten to the other one.
But that's
but 2 is after 1.
That's the mystery.
What is the mystery? So wait, the people who are calling 912 in Wisconsin don't have the 1 button, but they did dial it second. So it's they hit the 1 to get to 912.
See, you didn't need me to explain it.
But they don't have the 3rd one.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
You're right. Last segment was about you, and you were absolutely engaged.
Yep.
This segment you checked out because it wasn't about you, and then you said 912 because they don't have the 1 yet.
You got it.
All right, sweet. I'm not surprised. It's not new to me. Sauce, you want to do sports next?
Absolutely.
Father, where's his...
Yeah, we're True Blue to you. Hey, how are you, Madonna? Patrick Moore Show. And hey, how are you, Mark Rosen?
I'm doing well, thank you. It looks like the sun might actually peek through the haze, the purple haze that we have here. But yeah, I'm doing well. That was a great list. That was fun to listen to.
Yeah, good old Saucy and his A+.
Yeah, the listeners came through.
They
What
sure
did you
did.
think was better, Mark? The A+ songs or the top 10 songs?
Well, I didn't hear all of them because I was walking a couple blocks to get to my car, and then so I missed a few of them at the end. But Madonna certainly took over. I mean, I'd say the A+. Good idea.
None of the A+ songs are in the top 10.
No, I know.
Would you say Isla Bonita is the greatest song of all time?
No.
Well, okay then.
Can leave the room.
I would say yes.
No. I thought. What'd you say? What'd you call it?
She said last night I
ate bagels or something.
I love some bagels.
Now I'm going to hear that every time I hear that song.
Can't help it. You dream of them.
It's true.
Fan 5 on the Power Trip, presented by All Around Property Preservation.
Thank you, All Around.
Thank you. Time for Twins news. Powered Quantum Fiber. The Twins are terrible. They've lost 3 straight after getting embarrassed 7-0 by the Rays last night. They've scored 4 runs in their last 4 games. They've struck out 43 times in those 4 games. They are on pace to smash the all-time mark of 1,596 strikeouts in a season by the 2021 Cubs. They have 615. Same 2 teams tonight. I wrote this last night.
Right.
I apologize. At 540. Pablo Lopez goes for the Twins. And oh, by the way, the guy that they traded him for, Hawk, was 2 for 4 last night and is hitting .401. And the Twins put Buxton on the 10-day disabled or injury list, with a rib contusion.
Couple observations. I've watched pretty much every Twins lineup that's ever been in existence, and including the likes of Willie.
What a story, Mark.
Willie Norwood and Bombo Rivera.
Who?
And I'm not quite sure I've ever seen a more futile lineup than what we're. And not on paper. Not on paper, no. Because Kirilloff's a good hitter. Correa should be a very good hitter. The Farmer's a decent hitter. They got guys that can hit the ball. I just don't understand. They have a hitting coach, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just don't understand what's happening.
Rocco, by the way, speaking about that exact thing.
The strikeouts, they are an issue, and there's no way around that. I think I'd be sitting here feeding you something if I told you it wasn't something that we're thinking about and talking about. Because we can say, oh yeah, we can still be productive and strike out, but I think the consistency at which we're not making the decisions that we want at the plate, it has to change, because I think it actually kind of bleeds over a little bit into just the quality of the types of at-bats that we're having.
A little bit? Just a little bit. Just a little bit outside.
Seemed like an odd.
That's not exactly the way we're seeing it, and it's frustrating because it's a division they should win, and still probably will win by 7-8 games, because both Cleveland and Detroit both lost last night, I believe. So they didn't even lose any ground when they get shut out like that. I don't know. It's just it's very discouraging. I don't know. It's a collective issue, and they have a hitting coach. They have guys that they study tape every time. They're looking at charts. They're looking at analytics. They're doing all this other stuff, and obviously you're playing a really good team, the best team in baseball record-wise in Tampa Bay, and they're going to face really good pitching. But it doesn't matter who they're facing. There's once in a while they break out and have a 7-8 run game, but it's rare. As far as Mr. Arise goes, I mentioned with Common yesterday, and for the kids out there, I mean, back in 1977, Rod Carew ended up on the cover of Time magazine when he was hitting 400 in July, and it said baseball's next great hitter, and they had a cover picture of him on not Sports Illustrated, Time magazine, and we're reaching that rarefied air now with Arise. We got a ways to go before you get serious about him. Talking about Ted Williams and everything, but how can you not root for that kid? I mean, he's phenomenal. I mean, you can argue about the trade all you want, and yeah, of course, especially when the guy's hitting the way he's hitting right now, and Lopez has been okay, not great, not bad, just okay for the Twins when they desperately needed pitching. But he's an igniter. He's a guy that's really fun to watch, easy to root for, and I don't know how much big of a difference it would have made from a record standpoint, but he certainly would have been on base right now.
I wonder, what changes do you think?
What do you mean?
For a guy like that to go there and to be hitting that well, did they tell him something?
No.
Did they tell him to swing away?
No, he's just getting more and more comfortable at the plate. He's maturing as a baseball player. He's still very young, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's still in his rookie contract.
102.
Yeah, that's wow. And he's still under his rookie contract. That's a heck of a deal.
Yeah. So I don't. It's just and that's what adds salt to the wound is that. Not that Rise is hitting home runs. He's not. He's a singles hitter, but it doesn't matter. I mean, when the Twins are flailing away at home plate, looking like, that they've never been to, a baseball game, and you got the guy that they traded away, who's your leadoff man, your igniter, your guy that, the guy that was in the radio booth last night, Paul Molitor, was called the Igniter. That was his nickname. And that's what he would do. And it's also a situation where, I'm not saying if Rise was still here, he'd be affecting the rest of the lineup, but he kind of did and does. I mean, when a guy like that gets on base, it forces the pitcher to, check him over and just, it's kind of, as we've seen, hitters are creatures of habit, and one thing can lead to another, and bad habits start creeping in, and mentally you get beaten down because now you got to go home and you look at that box score and you're 0 for 4 or 3 strikeouts, and you got to wait till the next night to play again.
Oh, and wouldn't matter if he was in the lineup. Your number 3 hitter struck out 3 times. Yeah. Your second hitter struck out twice, and your 4th cleanup hitter struck out twice.
This happened over the weekend, too, against Cleveland.
They struck out 16 times on Sunday. Yeah. Well, they're bad. They're not good. They're just lucky to be playing in a bad division.
Yeah, that's it for now.
Well, when I talked to, being out the NHL Network, the MLB Network is right there. So I got to get to know Carlos Pena, some of those guys, and really well. And I talked to him about this trade, actually. And all the guys out there liked the trade for the Twins to do that. They really did. They liked it because you got this young up-and-comer. His stock's never been higher. He's just won a batting title. He's probably, going to keep getting better. But Minnesota's seen that a guy that hits for average isn't going to help you win baseball games, where a pitcher, legit pitching, could actually be a stopper, something you're hoping that's stopping. You could actually win games with a pitcher.
And what a story, Mark.
They didn't know Sonny Gray or Joe Ryan, any of those guys were going to come through. And they've been, and Bailey Ober and Louis Varland, although he didn't pitch well last night.
Susan Sontag.
Yeah.
So that's
why he had to make the trade, but that's how they felt they had to make the trade. But
when those guys like it, I mean, they only hire the best experts out there.
Yeah,
so, I mean, they got to be right.
You're right, Pari.
Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight at 7:30. The series is tied at 1, but the game is in Miami. Denver is minus 2.5, and the over-under is 214.5.
2.5. Oh, yep. Tells you how far Miami's come. How about Miami? I mean, it's South Florida.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup final.
Incredible.
Now, granted, they're down 0-2.
Both 8 seeds. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Game 3 that's going to be important. Holy cow. Incredible. What is, the story.
Nice week for the fans.
Just a fairy tale spring down in Miami right now.
Well, as you said, Perry, Game 3 of the Stanley Cup final is tomorrow in Florida. The Golden Knights have steamrolled the first 2 games.
Steamrolled.
And they lead 2-0. But Florida is a slight favorite tomorrow at -125. The over-under is 6. And it's the old cliche, Parrish. It's not a series until somebody loses a home game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it has been, you know, we talked before the series, which team was going to set the tone, which team was going to be able to settle in and play their game, force the other team to play to their level. And it has been Vegas 100%. They have literally, their forecheck's been great. Their depth has been incredible. Aiden Hill has been incredible. Everybody has stepped up, and they have just played A-plus hockey, staying out of all the BS and the trash talking and the face washes and everything that happens after the whistles. Have been staying incredibly disciplined in that, and that has absolutely frustrated Florida because they've been able to get to everyone that way. But now going into Game 3 in Miami, backs against the wall, Sergei Bobrovsky has had an unbelievable playoffs, and he's been yanked after giving up 8 goals in the 2 games. He got yanked. I believe he is going to be a brick wall. If he's got any pride in him at all right now, I mean, he knows this is a game he's got to show up for. The Panthers know. Matthew Tkachuk knows. It's a must win for Miami.
This playoff hurts that badly, or because they just look like a totally different team right now?
Yes, yeah, you could say so.
Give Vegas credit, but
because one of the things about the layoff that you're scared of, it's not so much the physical side of it. You know, are they going to be able to get to it? It's the mental side, right? Because all of a sudden the breaks happen, and all of a sudden everybody starts telling you, "Oh my gosh, what an amazing playoffs you're having!" And, "Oh my gosh, this was such a storybook and a fairy tale." And "Oh, Matthew Tkachuk, you're the man. Sergei Bobrovsky, you're the best goaltender in the playoff." And they kind of sit there and they kind of rest on their laurels mentally a little bit and kind of start feeling a little bit too big. And that's, I think, where you see the frustration come out. They're like, "Wait a minute, we're unbelievable. We knocked out the top 3 teams in the East, a couple of the top teams in the NHL, getting to where we are. What's going on here?" And you can see that frustration in Matthew Tkachuk, especially with however many penalty minutes he's got, 30 or something like that already in the first 2 games. But I think you're going to see a much different Florida Panthers team. I think there's going to be a big time storm. As much as Vegas likes to come out to a fast start, Florida absolutely has got to come out to a fast start. If they can't, they've shown the first 2 games they lose composure when they can't play without a lead. If they get behind in Vegas, they're in trouble. They lose their composure. They need to get the lead in Game 3.
And they had the lead in the first game on a shorthanded goal, which killed the crowd. You thought,
they sucked.
All right, here we go.
100%. Exactly. And then that's where, and that's Bruce Cassidy, the coach of Vegas. He's Butch, good old Butch, hence his nickname Butch. He's such an even keel coach, and his mentality is so good with those guys. And they have got guys like Alex Pietrangelo, who won a Stanley Cup in St. Louis, and Mark Stone. Their leadership that's been around has been through it all, where they can settle down and be like, "Okay, guys, that's no big deal." Like, where Jack Eichel, some guys maybe haven't been in this position, you're going to get a little bit nervous game 1 in your building, and you short a big shorty goal, right? Like that could rattle a lot of teams. But that just goes to the depth that Vegas has in their room as leadership.
Well, most importantly, if Vegas wins the Stanley Cup, I win $500 from Sauce, and Hawk wins $250.
Bring it on.
You know what I'm going to do next Wednesday, Cor?
Kiss a man on the lips.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't ask him.
Is he right?
I mean, if it got me $750, I would kiss a man on the lips.
Wow.
If this bet went away, I would kiss a man on the lips. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to lose money. Losing money sucks. But guess what I'm going to do?
Keep gambling.
Keep gambling. And kiss.
Yeah.
The cover of Madden 2024 will be released today. Also, the first trailer of the gameplay. Zach, your thoughts?
It's going to be terrible.
Okay, well, didn't we hear a story, or didn't you read the story that this is basically it for Madden, that if this is the same cookie-cutter trash that they've had for the last 15 years, it's over?
Over for...
Hold on. Hey, Zach, too, Madden 2024, your thoughts? Are you falling?
Cookie cutter trash.
Go ahead, Zacho.
The visual. You need a visual for that one.
I wish it was
I love Zach's sense of humor.
So it sucks. Let's say it sucks. Then there's what's going to happen to the NFL video game landscape. There's nobody to replace it. There's no competition. There's nobody waiting in the wings. They have no reason to. So, fine, yeah, another crappy game, but what does EA care? It still sells every year. People still buy it. And, I mean, I'm so disheveled by that. I think the best hope is that the college football game that is supposed to come out next year maybe sets a new precedent, maybe puts a little bit more pressure on. But I don't know, man. I'm very cynical about anything that comes out of the Electronic Arts library.
Zach, I love you, but don't let a video game dishevel you.
He hates it.
Ever let a video game dishevel you.
Disheveled, man.
Don't let a video game
Please don't be disheveled.
No, get passionate.
Yeah, get passionate,
with the
Zach.
disheveling that is happening over there, I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah. All right. The PGA Tour, the DP World Tour, and LIV announced a landmark agreement to unify men's professional golf. People are pissed.
What the hell's the DP World Tour?
Hawks band.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is that?
I honestly don't know.
Hard to use the word unify with all the stuff that happened yesterday after the announcement. That's the last word I would have used to define what happened yesterday was unify.
Rosie, are you familiar with the DP World Tour?
No, I am not.
Have you ever been on a DP World Tour?
None of your damn business.
That's right. Yeah, would you stop asking things that aren't your business?
Boy, Rosie.
Hey, Hawk, when you were in Moonshine, weren't you on the DP World Tour?
Yeah, we can call it a world tour. Here's PGA Commissioner Jay Monahan trying to explain his...
Before he leaves?
I recognize everything that I've said in the past in my prior positions. I recognize that people are going to call me a hypocrite. And anytime I've said anything, I said it with the information I had at that moment. And I said it based on someone that's trying to compete for the PGA Tour and our players. And so I accept those criticisms. But circumstances do change. And I think that, in looking at the big picture and looking at it this way, that's what got us to this point.
Right, and I'm Cindy Lauper.
That's about it.
Here's a little bit more. He says staying was good for the PGA players that did stay.
It probably didn't seem this way to them, but as I look to our players, those players that have been loyal to the PGA Tour, I'm confident that they've made the right decision. They've helped re-architect the future of the PGA Tour. They've moved us to a more pro-competitive model. As we finalize this process, any player that has stayed is going to realize the money that they're going to make, the strength of this platform, all the things that we talk about are going to put them in a really strong position. They're going to win. They're going to continue to grow. And we're in a control position on their behalf as we move forward in this structure.
That was a hoax, right?
That was a whole bunch of BS.
Right.
That
He's
is trying
backpedaling
to
as hard
get
as he
out
can.
of a hole as much. Oh my Lord!
It
Just
sounded like he
desperately clawing his way out of a hole.
Addressed this years ago.
Awful.
I went, that was 5 years ago when I made that statement.
Yeah,
There's
so busted.
How many hundreds of millions did he cost his players?
Right.
Yeah.
There's a clip from last year's. I think it's the RBC Canadian Open of him hammering.
Right.
LIV Golf.
And Nance's interview with him, talking about the 9/11 survivors and going into bed with the Saudis and, the whole 9 yards. And he's going to be out. I mean, I can't imagine. Rory's supposed to speak today, I believe, right?
But there's a lot of people that think Rory might stand up for him because according to...
Really?
Yeah, a couple of credited Twitter accounts during the meeting with the players yesterday, something called Grayson Murray called for... Commissioner Monahan to resign, and Rory responded by telling him, play better. And then, so Rory might stand up for him because, as we talked about earlier, Rose, before you got here, it's, as you know, because you've taken him a couple of times, Paris has taken him a couple of times, it's wrecked his game because he, Tuesday, Wednesday, all he would do was go to these meetings with the board of the PGA and stand up for the PGA Tour, how they can get it better, and he just didn't concentrate on practicing. And a week ago when he basically said he was not going to talk about him or was going to keep quiet, some people think he was tipped off. But I think
it looked like he was tipped off over the weekend when he was meeting with Nicholas, when they had that quick little meeting after on the 18th green or when they were done. I don't think anyone knows how this is going to shake out. It's just too many moving parts right now. But how the LIV golfers are going to be back into it and how just what happens to the field and it's just it's a hot mess that they created themselves.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And before we get into Vikings news, you think it's bad for the Twins? Jacob deGrom, who signed a massive deal with the Rangers, will be out with a UCL tear. He will be out until 2025, and he will only have 3 years left on a $115 million deal.
That story makes you sound stupid.
This is why teams are sometimes very reluctant to invest a lot of money in high price.
And they got to pay him
profile pitchers. They got to get. He gets every dime of that.
Yep. And he'll be out for basically until 2025.
And who knows what kind of a pitcher he'll be when he gets back.
When they go to the IL, there's a lot of these teams have insurance for that.
They do.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
But he gets paid.
He gets paid. Yeah. He gets paid. But the team, if it's an injury like this, the team's got insurance money to cover this.
Thanks, Guardsy.
Well, then we just gave Pablo Lopez a bunch of money. Maybe we could trade him to Miami for Luis Arraez. Straight up. Straight up. Or maybe Luis Arraez is going to go on the DP World Tour.
Right.
I guess you have to have a partner. Really what if he goes with Pablo Lopez?
Yeah. And they go on tour with Moonshine.
Thanks, buddy boy.
They've done that tour a couple of times. Yeah. It's like, we need some new bands.
Yeah.
Right. It's time for Vikings News. Yeah! Presented by
Radco.
Yeah,
Thank you, Radco.
Hey, we got a follow-up from yesterday. Remember we talked yesterday about Colts cornerback Isaiah Rodgers, who's been investigated for gambling by the NFL. A lot of his bets were $25, $50, like 100 bets. A lot of them pretty small. They said a couple were in the low four figures.
I'm dying.
Oh.
But the reason why he was potentially in super hot water is that he was betting on his own team.
Really?
The Colts.
Pete Rose.
Well, how about the report yesterday? Sources are saying the NFL is considering a lifetime ban.
Yeah. All the time.
Lifetime ban.
It's pretty well in their contracts. They have to understand all that. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it.
Are you cussing with me? No, you cussing with me?
No.
Don't cuss and point.
You're going to cuss with somebody. You're not going to cuss with me, you little cuss.
Me.
What a great film. Great
Genius.
Film.
Just
great
genius.
Film. Have you seen it, Barry?
So many times.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
My wife, Nikki, gives me so much crap. It's one of those that actually just stays on like Big Lebowski. Like, I'm just, all right, that's a good one to turn on and maybe fall asleep to on a plane. Right. And my wife still thinks I'm like a 13-year-old, but
it's
no.
So
it's a spectacular movie.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Rosie. It's, well, not a cartoon. Stop motion animation. But it's Wes Anderson.
Awesome.
Right. I can't believe I missed if it's Wes Anderson. I don't
like
know.
Isle of Dogs. That's also incredible.
I've seen that.
Oh, so
that
good.
was mesmerizing.
Hawk Sob do it. We both did, I think. When
that
we
was
saw it.
so good.
Yeah. It's great.
All right.
Anyway, lifetime ban potentially for that dude.
Yeah.
So.
Like a month ago, I thought we had all of our draft picks locked up. In fact, I read a story. Hey, all of the draft picks are locked up. And then yesterday we signed Dwayne McBride. And I'm like, I thought that was 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, so did I.
So whatever. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We're going to get it done. But now I guess technically that was the last one that was holding out. And now we're good.
He's the kid that led the nation in running, right? Rushing last year?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, apparently he's not much of a blocker or a pass catcher, but who cares?
See some hustle.
Yeah, let's see some hustle,
but
man.
OTAs are over. Next step is mandatory minicamp.
Right.
Then Hawk training camp.
Then what?
Then the Hall of Fame game.
That's
right. What we're all waiting for.
Right season, the Super Bowl, and Sauce, what's right around the corner?
Preseason football.
No.
Thanks, buddy
After
boy.
the Super Bowl.
Oh, the draft.
The draft, yeah.
Well, and more golf gambling.
Right.
Yay.
I can't wait. I love it. Thanks for your enthusiasm, Rose.
Would you skip this entire upcoming NFL season if you were able to make the NFL draft be 6 weeks from now?
No.
But we don't play a whole game in 2023/24. But we get another NFL draft in the middle of August.
No.
Oh.
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Why?
Good question, though. I just wouldn't.
Why?
Because the waiting is also fun for the draft.
That's what I'm saying. 6 weeks.
Yeah, but we wouldn't know who's picking because we wouldn't have a season.
No, we'll randomize it. We'll have a lottery. First ever NFL draft lottery.
They can't do that. That'd be stupid.
Why?
I don't know. They've talked about doing that, but I think it'd be dumb. I don't really have a reason. I didn't know I was going to be put on the stand.
Put on the stand.
I don't know why they wouldn't.
You said it was dumb. Why is it dumb?
I just think that, I don't know, because I really don't have an answer.
So you haven't thought it through. That's fine.
I kind of have, but not really.
Sounds like you've done a good job. The 8 o'clock hour of the Power Trip Morning Show will return with Mark Rosen, Mark Parrish, our buddy Cy Amundsen, I think, is coming in. More on the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.